If you are an artist out there right now and you have been releasing music just to Spotify and the other DSPs and you're not getting no listens and you definitely not getting no money from it, and you like, I love making music, but I'm just tired of releasing music out in the world and then not doing anything or not getting anything, you need to get into sync. You need to get into licensing your music for money, okay? Money.
Yeah. Diamond Dej, Diamond Dej.
Pizza? Yo, bitch, basic? Like this pizza? Yes, she basic.
Whew. It is frostier than a bitch here in Nashville, y'all. Like, it's literally snowing. When I get outside, y'all gonna see that it's snowing. But that's not what I came here to talk to y'all about. I came here to talk to y'all about how I get my music on Netflix, advertisements like Walmart, and other shows. My name is Diamond Dej, and I am a female rapper. I'm also a writer, content creator. I found out that I got my song, one of my songs, placed on Selling the City on Netflix. It's kind of like a real estate kind of show with these boss chicks selling, you know, real estate. I had a few people ask me, like, how do you get your music on these platforms? And one of the things that I do is I license my music for TV or advertisement, or what they call sync. Sync licensing is when you pitch your music to music supervisors or people who work at the said companies who choose the music for the ads or the commercial. You pitch your music to them, or you can use a agent, which is what I do. I have a sync agent, somebody who makes relationships with these music supervisors on my behalf. So my agent, she goes out, she pitches my music to these people who are choosing the music at these companies for their commercials and for their ads. And she pretty much talks me up, you know, tells them how great of an artist I am. But eventually, they like the song, they will eventually choose it for their ad. And that's where the cash money comes in, okay, y'all? All right, let me get out this garage. So, recently, and let me tell, ooh, I almost hit that fucking pole. Almost hit that pole, y'all. So let me tell you how I do it. So initially, when I moved to Nashville, and I moved here for songwriting, I didn't know anybody. But I was researching what sync was, and I was like, you know what? Instead of just making music and just dropping it as an artist and it not doing anything, or like not making really any money, sync was the only way where you can make a song and you could potentially get money for it based off of if you can get it synced. I found an independent publisher company here, and I started building catalog with this independent publishing company. In order to be successful at getting your music synced, you need a lot of it. So you need a team of people. You're not gonna be able, unless you got a lot of money, unless you big balling like that, you gotta have a lot of records. You gotta have catalog. You need 30, 40, 50, 60. You need a lot of songs, because the thing about getting into sync is you never know what the market or industry is looking for. Like, they might want hip hop, they might want this, they might want this sound, but you got to stay to your lane. Like I told y'all, I'm a rap artist, I'm a female rapper, but it's a variety of it. It doesn't all sound the same. I rap on pop beats, I got some on trap beats, I got some on whatever type of beats, like all different type of songs. You need to diversify your portfolio, your catalog, as much as possible. That's the first thing. You got to work with a team that's not going to charge you, because if you got to pay for every little mix, pay for every little beat, pay for every little thing that's got to get done just for one song, it's just one song or a few songs is not enough for sync. Like, I think right now I have about 100 songs in my catalog, which leads me to my second point. My second point is the best way to build catalog: collaborate. When I tell you, collaboration really is key when it comes to building a catalog for sync. If you want the highest potential to not only make more records, diverse records, but also when you make records with other people, they can also be in the process of pitching the same record. So like, when I go out and I collab with a producer from so-and-so or New Jersey, And my team is pitching a record, but also their team is pitching a record. So it gives it more of an opportunity to be pitched and to potentially be chosen to be on an ad or a TV show, because we got two people who is invested in pitching the record out. Collab. Like, collab with artists, collab with producers, collab with people who are unsigned, signed. Collab with everybody but make sure the business is tight. You got a lot of people who, if you collab with them, they wanna get 80% of the master. Like, make sure you are collabing with people who understand your goal. And your goal is how, like, we not charging us each other for this song. Like, we are both coming together to make this song. Even splits is the best thing. Even split down the middle, and we will both work the record. That is the best business. And you gotta work with people who understand that. There are some people out here, because some producers feel like because they made the beat and they mixed it, then they should get 80% ownership and you only get 20. And there's all this stuff out there. But ultimately, you want to make sure that you own evenly of your masters and your shares. You want to make sure that y'all are evenly splitting up the writer share and the master share. The third thing is study. Like, ultimately, if you want to make music that these networks like Netflix are choosing, these TV shows, these advertisers are choosing, you need to study the music in these commercials and advertising. Before I started doing music for Sync, I didn't pay attention really to the music that I heard on ads and TV. Now, there are some songs that stand out, and I'm like, oh, why do I'm singing this song? I heard it from somewhere. But 9 times out of 10, once you start trying to make music for Sync, you need to be studying the music that's playing in the background on these TV shows, on these advertisements. You need to be paying attention to the type of sounds you hear. You need to be paying attention to the words that they're using, the cadences that they're using. Like, you need to be paying attention to all of that, because you want to incorporate all of that into your music. That is the third thing. Study the industry. Study songs that you hear, and don't try to copy those songs, but just take notes. You want to still be able to put you in the record, but you also want to make sure that you're hitting the elements that are typically used in advertising and television. If you hear my music, you can hear that I'm still myself on these records. I still use my voice. I still have attitude and sass. I still have the elements that make me special as an artist, but I also hit those points, such as not using too many lyrics, using a lot of similes and synonyms, and using a bunch of yes and goes and uhs, just kind of background vocally stuff. You don't want it to be too wordy. You want it to be cool. You want it to be conversational. As an artist who loves music, love creating music, love writing, love rapping, you realize that unless you got a big name, unless you are popular, there is no money in it. And it's not, and continuing to do something and you're not making money to sustain yourself is unsustainable in itself. You can't keep making music, spending money on mixes, spending money on beats, spending money on studio time, spending money on all these things, marketing, spending money on content, just to put the song out, and then you ain't even making not even 1/3 of the money that you spent to make the record. Like, Sync is the answer for music creatives who want to actually get paid money for their music. Here is the thing I will say though. Sync is not a get-rich-quick scheme by any means. I have been doing Sync for 3 years now, and I am just really starting to get a stride, because the Sync industry is always changing. The music and television industry is always changing. You know, last year the writers went on strike in Hollywood, so it was a very slow year. Like, I didn't get really no placements last year. It's very kind of unpredictable, but the one thing I can say is, if you are willing to learn, and if you are willing to put in the energy to build up catalog and make connections with Sync agents and music supervisors, go to conferences, get your name out there, talk to people. If you are willing to do that, then I think you will be successful. You will have success in Sync. And you have to always be cataloging. Like, Always be finding people to collaborate with. Always be writing. Always be studying. Always be, even as a writer, I don't produce. But even as a writer, when I get into sessions with producers, I have been studying different like earworms and sounds that I be hearing or that will be cool for sync. So I tell them like, hey, you got an alien sound, you got this kind of sound, we need to put in this type of sound. Even I am getting used to understanding the type of sounds. And I'm not a producer, I write. If you are out there and you like, I love music, but I just cannot keep doing this whole release and spending all this money on music, and you really want to actually try to make some money with your music, you need to get into sync. You need to find a community, find an organization, move to a city where there is songwriting and music creation happening. You need to let people know like you are interested in sync so that they can hook you up with producers and artists who are doing sync. And you need to study, you need to write, and you just need to keep doing that, keep building up songs. Work with people who understand your vision. Work with people who they understand that it's a long game and that you got to have songs in order to even make money. Some people, they just be so quick to just get any kind of money. You need a lot of songs. 10 songs ain't gonna do. 20 songs ain't gonna do. 30 songs ain't gonna do. I'm telling you, I got 100 songs in 3 years. And out of 100 songs, I would say about how many got placed? About 7 or 8 songs. I have 100 songs and only 8 of them have been chosen for placements. If you one of them people who like, I'm just gonna do my artistry stuff and that's it, you're not gonna like, that's a no-go. Yes, bring elements of you, but you, at the end of the day, you got to do the records that's gonna work for sync. Keep the lyrics universal. Keep the lyrics open. Keep the lyric, no cursing. Don't mention anything specific. Like, these are just rules you have to follow, but I guarantee y'all, if you stick it out, it's a long game. It's not a quick money grab, but it's cool. You'll meet a lot of cool people. You'll get to do and go to a lot of cool places. And it's worth it if you are a person who really enjoys music and you see yourself doing music. Those are my tips. Let me know if y'all got any questions below. I am driving, but I will be back with more videos.